Hey Music World, John here from What's Spinning, here tonight with a special video, a little different than my usual reviews. We're about halfway through the year, and when we are at this point in the year, I kind of like to look back at where we've been so far and talk about the albums that I've been enjoying the most this year. Now, the next 10 albums that I'm going to be chatting about are probably my favorites of the year so far, or very close to it. Keep in mind, as always, it's all just opinion here, folks. We're just here for some fun. And no, this isn't a countdown or anything. There's no order. We're just going alphabetically. Without further ado, let's kick things off. First up, want to give a shout out to this fantastic, very harsh new album from The Body and Disfig, Orchards of a Futile Heaven. My God, this album is, it's not for the weak of heart, for damn sure, but it is a feast for fans of the noisy and the abrasive and the genre pushing. I mean, what we get here is not going to be for everybody. It is a pretty intense album, to say the very least, but it is a pretty hypnotic event if you are into the weirder and harsher side of music. I mean, you are getting very hypnotic, just very meditative chants, usually from Disfig, as well as just the raw power that you come to expect from a Body project, all tied up nicely with tension that you couldn't cut up with a knife if you tried. Coming up next, want to give a quick shout out to this fantastic new record from Charli XCX. It is called BRAT. And I mean, for me, I've been following Charli since the early days. And while personally, I did enjoy the Crash album quite a bit, it was a little streamlined at the end of the day. It wasn't really Charli trying anything new or exciting. And this album here is just that. This is easily already one of the most exciting and genuinely creative pop albums of the year. And let me tell you, it's more than just a mindless rave as well. As a matter of fact, Charli packs in not just a lot of emotion, but a lot of really introspective lyrics. And of course, you're getting the very bubbly, very colorful PC music production. It's a fantastic record. Yeah, when Charli arrives, she doesn't just arrive, she turns up the heat when she does arrive. Also, really loving this new record from Fortet. And while I'll start off by saying it's nothing wildly new from Kieran at this point in his career, I'd argue right back that he really doesn't have much to prove right now, and this album is nothing short of a flex. I mean, you are getting the icy ambient, you are getting the gloomy and moody down-tempo of Kieran's music. But it's just such a glistening, kaleidoscopic record as well that just has this sense of wonder and adventure as well that I haven't heard from Kieran since his early days. It's gorgeous, it's progressive, it's a hell of a flex. Also, I have been so patient for a Jessica Pratt record, and boy, did she deliver. Yeah, this is one of the most enchanting and otherworldly singer-songwriter records I've heard in a decade, and I'm kind of addicted to it. I mean, her very intimate recording style is only made 10 times bigger with just how dense this atmosphere is. The stunning production as well. I mean, throw in some brass and some strings and some nods to bossa nova at points, and you have a hell of a record. Also, I do still believe that I am having more than the recommended dose of fun with the new Joey Valence and Brae record, No Hands. And yeah, there is nothing groundbreaking about this record. Their style is very brash. It is very in your face. But my God, I have not had any more fun on a record this year than this. I mean, lyrically, this album gets so ridiculous at times that I would have just loved to see them record this with a straight face. But the exciting production, the boom bap flavored beats, and the dripping personality from this record, it is so good. Yeah, they have so much chemistry, it's not even funny. Also, this new Knocked Loose album. You won't go before you're supposed to. I mean, we are eating good this year if you are into the heavier sounds of music. I mean, the band Knocked Loose has always had this knack of sticking to metalcore's roots and just turning the volume up, but here they genuinely have made such an artistic leap. Deafening production, some of the best guitar work you're going to hear on any record this year. Dare I say, more than often, they sound like they're projecting metalcore into the future and actually making it a little adventurous, which I thought was not in the cards for this year, but here we are, and it is a hell of an experience. Also, new METZ record, Up on Gravity Hill. I mean, it's METZ, the sound of their last record, Atlas Vending, cranked up to 10. More thrilling performances, even grittier production, also a healthy dose of 90s alternative, and maybe even a little shoegaze thrown in. Yes, please. It's easily one of the best sort of hard rock records of the year. Also, MGMT, Loss of Life. Not only did they grow personally on this record, but they sound like they are maturing as artists as well. But most importantly, while keeping the eccentricities that I enjoyed about them in the first place. I mean, MGMT just seems to be getting more and more comfortable with going further and further down the rabbit hole, letting their ideas breathe deeper and deeper, and that excites me. And this new record is a love letter to not only the folk pop of the 70s, but the big ballads of the 80s. And yeah, Andrew and Ben's ideas continue to be very playful. They really are approaching it very introspectively, and it's very impressive. Also, Vampire Weekend, Only God Was Above Us. I mean, only Vampire Weekend can send me on this roller coaster. I mean, it's been a rough ride for me with them, but this new record, I mean, what can I say? It's giving indie rock a great name in 2024. This is easily their most raw and introspective album, and that's coming from the band that put out Modern Vampires of the City. It's an album of growing older and wiser. It is an album of intricate details in places you'd never expect them. And if in 3 years I would still consider this to be Vampire Weekend's best record, I wouldn't be that surprised. And finally, I want to give a shout out to this latest album from Vince Staples, where here he really does turn back the clock, strip down his sound again to the bare minimum where he started, that dark, gritty, rainy day rap. And yeah, he's certainly been doing that over the last few years, but the songwriting and the performances on this album here, it's the best that he's sounded since Big Fish Theory. But not only does he remain really focused, these beats remain super icy and chilly and just plain gloomy. On top of all that, he's playing to his biggest strength, and that's going back to storytelling. It's short and it's sweet, and it's one of this generation's best rap lyricists getting back on track in a really exciting way. So yeah, those are my top 10 albums of the year so far, just in alphabetical order. We'll be back here at the end of the year doing a top 20 like we always do, but for now, let me know what you think on these records, and if I missed any that you love, let me know down below. And if you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.